Peace, light workers, intergalactic federation, star seeds. I come to you in peace and tranquility. I come to you from the fourth dimension. Come to you with a message. I'm Q Mussolini, aka QN Neil, aka Lamette. So today we're gonna be learning about chakras. Everybody know about chakras. Chakras heal you. The reason why people get sick is because their chakras are blocked. So we're gonna be going into the stages of immortality, and we're going to line our chakras. I'm gonna show you guys how to access the fourth dimension, and I'm gonna teach you guys about new galaxies and stuff like that. So and then I'm gonna teach you how to unlock your spirit, because right now your spirit is locked. Everybody's spirit is locked right now. Everybody go through a spiritual lock. So basically, when time first started, you started off as a spirit. Everybody know what a spirit is. The number 9 represents the spirit. So you started off as a spirit. The spiritual dimension is the 5th dimension. So you started off as a spirit in the 5th dimension. You came from the 5th dimension to the 4th dimension to the 3rd dimension. The 3rd dimension is the physical plane. So you came from the 3rd dimension in order to come into this reality. A lot of people say, how did we get into this reality? Some people feel stuck. Some people feel depressed. Some people feel lonely. Some people feel sad. Some people feel happy. We go through different emotional stages. Some people feel alone in this reality, this universe. Some people feel stuck. Some people feel like we go through a loop. Like a loop is just like it's never ending. It's not even an 8, which is the infinite number. It's just a loop. A loop where you don't see yourself excelling like to a higher degree or even excelling in life. So we stuck in a time loop. So I'm gonna teach you guys about the time loop that we stuck in. And for the ones that choose to take the path of enlightenment, they're gonna be enlightened. So we started off as a 5th density light being. Everybody know that they're not human. Let's get that out your head. So everybody let's start off with the fact that you're not human. And I know sometimes you might feel like you're not human, or you have different abilities that you want to access, and you might not know how to access those different abilities and stuff like that. But I know that you feel like you're not human. Everybody get to the point where they feel like they're not human, because I feel like I'm not human all the time. You see what I'm saying? So the fact that you're not human, it separates you in between dimensions, and it allow you to access superpowers of immortality that the average sentient being that's incarnated into a body that's awakened, that sleep wouldn't be able to access. So by you being a spirit and you incarnated into this body, this shell, like I said, you start off as a spirit from the 5th dimension. You had to go to the 4th dimension, and from the 4th dimension to the 3rd dimension. In order for you to come into this reality of incarnation, you had to start off from the 5th dimension. So we're gonna get into some information over here. So do anybody know what ascension is? And if you don't know what ascension is, you took the ascension process as a spirit. When you're a spirit, you're in the form of ascension, because you are trying to elevate your spirituality to a higher light being. Like you wanna emulate light at its highest possible frequency. So you want to be able to emulate light. And the only way you're going to be able to emulate light is if you activate your Merkaba and your light body. So when you was first born, everybody was in the ascension process as a spirit. And ascension means the path of those who choose to consciously step into a higher level of light. Rather, though, expand awareness and integrating the higher vibrational consciousness of spiritual self, we are able to ascend. So basically, that's what ascension is. What I just read to you, that you want to step into the light and to increase your vibration. Because as a spirit, you are electricity. Because the electricity are different molecules. Like you as a spirit, you are three things. You are spirit, you are energy, and you are light. That's the three trinities: spirit, energy, and light. So as a spirit, you emulate light. So you output light and you bring light in. So you can output and input. So your body is an output and input system. So you're able to send energy out and you're able to draw energy in. And so when we came through the fifth dimension, do anybody know what the fifth dimension is? And if you don't know what the fifth dimension is, a dimension, do anybody even know what a dimension means? So I'm gonna break down the fifth dimension. The fifth dimension is it say the earth and all beings living on earth are in the process of shifting into a whole new level of reality in which a consciousness of love, compassion, peace, spiritual wisdom prevails. This has been called the fifth dimension. So when you're in the fifth dimension, you in a bliss of love, compassion, peace, spirituality, and wisdom. You want to search for those things to make yourself whole. So that way you could come together without no negativity. That's what the fifth dimension is. So when we was in the fifth dimension, we didn't have a body. We was just a spirit. And as a spirit, we was able to create things at the blink of a thought. Like whenever you think of anything, you could create it and manifest it in that dimension just like that, because you don't have a body and you don't have limitations. Because in the fifth dimension, you are wide open to do whatever you want. You are a free spirit. So when we come into this reality as a so-called human being, which is we are a sentient being, we come into this reality, we are a spirit having a outer body experience, which inner outer body experience, because we a spirit that been incarnated into a body, but we having an outer body experience too, because we exist in two dimensions. So as a spirit, you having an outer body experience through the auric field, which is the energy. And your outer body experience that you have is reality, which is awareness. So when everybody was born as a whole atom, one whole atom, and there was two parts to this atom. One part was a female and one part was a male. We have the divine feminine and the masculine feminine. That represents two energies, the female and the male energy. And it also represents 2 degrees of polarity, meaning positive and negative. And then it also represents night and day, black and white, up and down, things of that. Everything is on a different polarity. It's the opposite. So when you came here, the atom separated. One atom stayed in the fifth dimension. The other atom came to incarnate in the third dimension as a body. So when you in this third dimension as a body, you want to connect to your twin flame, the twin energy that separated when you was a whole atom in the fifth dimension. And the only way you going to connect to your other counterpart and become a whole atom again, as if you ascend. So we ascending right now. But in order to ascend the proper way, you have to have knowledge, and you have to have the life path mapping to be able to get your way, to be able to guide your way through the celestial realm and the quantum realm, meaning the realm of matter, energy. Because matter is different things: water, it could be dirt, it could be metal, this and that. Matter could be all elements. So matter get converted into energy, and then it gets a spirit in the body. So that's how we got here. But everybody is trying to find a twin flame. So you definitely want to connect to your twin flame, because it's two of you. It's a mirror. You have an alignment like this, two twin flames lining up at the same degree, and they both are the exact same in character and everything. But the only thing, one is a masculine um, male, and one is a divine feminine. So you want to connect to that other counterpart. That's what's going to make you whole and activate your Merkaba. And it's going to allow you to have to experience immortality, meaning that you become immortal with the same powers that you had in fifth dimension in the third dimension, but you incarnated into a third dimensional light body. So you definitely want to incarnate back into a spirit in the physical realm. And that's what we're trying to do now. Everybody's trying to go on the ascension process, but unfortunately, they not able to go on the ascension process because half of the people are asleep, and they've been put to sleep when they first came into this dimension. So right now, we dealing with the fact that you are a spirit in a body with no direction. So everybody is out of time, meaning that they are out of time. And I'm gonna get you guys back in the time. So these are the things that happen. We start off as a spirit in the fifth dimension. We went through the fourth dimension to access our soul. We came to the third dimension to incarnate as a spirit into a body. Now we want to go back to the fifth dimension, but we want to access the fifth dimension while we in the third dimension, because it's just accessing a higher level of consciousness and awareness while you in this light body. So what we did was we we went through the ascension process. Then we had to descend. In order to come into this reality, you gotta descend. So when you descend, that means to come down from a higher plane. So we're gonna go through what everything means. So to descend is to pass from a higher place or a higher level to a lower one. So we descended when we came down from the fifth dimension to incarnate into a third dimensional light body. So we had to descend. And then right now we on the process of ascend. Ascend means to rise or move through the air. So you rising your frequency to a higher frequency. So it means to ascend. And if you don't ascend before you get to do that and you transcend, that means you pass over. So when people die, that's the stage of transcending, meaning that they passed over. And the definition for transcend is to go beyond range or limits of a field of activity. And this is a field of activity because this the field of energy. It's an auric field around you, around your whole body, and you could feel the energy as you submerge yourself into the energy field. But half of the people are asleep, so they not sensitive to the energy field. And then a lot of people take so many things into their body where they don't even feel. You understand? Because they create a heavy body. Your body need to be real light. Like you need to have a light body. So what I did was I lost weight over these last few weeks and stuff like that because I wanted to get in tune with my light body. I was way over my weight and everything, and it was causing me to operate from a higher mass of density. Like my skin is the mass and it's matter as well, but it's too dense. It was at a heavy density. And with that heavy density, it don't allow me to connect to the uric field the proper way and align myself because I'm too heavy. You see what I'm saying? I'm way over my weight. And then I got a lot of different things with being overweight going on that wouldn't allow me to think straight because I'm not having the proper electrons to flow through my body properly. But that's a whole nother talk. But that's just part ways of what I mean by not being aligned. So when we came to this dimension, we went through those stages of ascension, descending, and now we want to ascend and we don't want to transcend yet. You understand? So we incarnated. Incarnate means to it's a deity or spirit embodied in human form. That's what incarnate means, to incarnate. A deity could be a figure or a spirit, the same thing, that embodied flesh, because you went into your flesh. Your spirit was embodied into your flesh. So that's what incarnate means. And then the another form of incarnate is in human form, the flesh in physical form and body form, made flesh, made manifest, meaning that you was made into human form, you was made into physical form, you was made of flesh, and then you was manifested into this reality. So you went through different stages, your spirit actually going into your body, and then you coming out the canal, which is the woman womb, and going through 9 months of creation. So you had to go through the development stages of actually developing the body, your skin, and everything like that. So we have incarnated. Incarnated is the after effect. So you incarnated, and where you incarnate and then you incarnated, because that's past tense. So after you incarnated, the definition is to embody flesh, invest with a body, especially a human form, a man who incarnated wisdom and compassion. And it's a male and female, the same thing. You could just say an atom, which incarnated wisdom and compassion, because the atom is 2 parts, male and female, both energies, 2 electrons, negative and positive. They both carry the same frequency. So just because one is negative, don't mean that it's actually negative and things happening in karmatic negative. It's negative meaning a polarity, a different frequency that go into 2 opposite directions. That's all that means. So let's not get that confused. Okay, back to topic. When talking about the dimensions, when he's talking about the third dimension is ascending into a 5th dimensional consciousness or raising your vibration. But unfortunately, when you came into this reality, they brainwashed you. And what they did was they brainwashed you with their belief system. And that's the powers to be. Of course, you're going to have somebody that feel like they higher than you and that they could take over and control you until the real God step in and actually shine the light. And then the light is so emulating that they can't take the light because the spectrum that they hold within their light body cannot take that much light going in because they not made of the light that we're made of above. So they don't carry the same frequency. So they can't keep us encapsulated for a long time. Eventually, the times turn and we awaken. But it took a long time for us to awaken because they enslaved us and they enslaved our ancestors. And then the slavery get passed down through genes. So it wasn't even the fact that they slaved you physically, they slaved you mentally. Just the fact that you enslaved mentally was passed down through a genetic gene. And that genetic gene put a block on your spirit when you came into this world because it was done in the quantum field. So they put a block on your quantum field. And when you came into this reality, you was unable to access the 5th and the 4th dimension again because they put a block on it. And they did that so you won't become an immortal and has superpowers within this reality. And then, if everybody come together on this same plane and express love for one another, we become powerful. And with our powers, we able to show unity amongst another, love amongst one another, and then we can live in complete harmony and bliss without any war, without any deceit and deceiving people and stuff like that. So basically, they brainwashed everybody into their belief system. And once you embodied their belief system, you took on their reality and not yours. So now what we want to do is we want to take our reality back, because when you looking out your own eyes, you're looking out at the projector, and your brain is sending frequencies through your eyes, and it's thoughts from your mind and vibrations, which is sound waves from your mouth, to connect to electromagnetic fields within the energy field, which is the universe, to bring you back a message and different information. So that's what we connect to the energy to do, is to output energy and input energy. So when you send out a request, of course it's going to come back, because opposites attract. So what we're going to get into is this. We're going to first see God in the number form before anything. So everybody wonder who God is, what God is. God is a male and a female. So let's get that straight. God is an atom, an atom. So when you, cause so everybody have their depiction of what God is and this and that, but nobody really stamped out who God really is, what God really is. God is energy. God is spirit. God is numbers. So it's numbers, spirit, energy. Numbers, spirit, and energy. So when you look at the numbers, and everything, you have 6 electrons in your body, the electrical system that's conducted by the endocrine system. Then you have neurons in the body that work with the synapses in the brain. You have neurosynapses in the brain, and the neurosynapses allows you to tap into your psyche, which is the psychological aspects of this reality. So when you activate your neurosynapses in the brain, it gives you psychic intuition and psychic premonition. So when we activate our frequencies, our chakras, we activate the neurosynapses in the brain. So when we start looking at God in the number form, we start looking at the number pattern. So the reason why I stated the 6 electrons, the 6 neurons, and the 6 atoms. So it's, of course, it's 6 atoms. So because when you look at it, you got 6 senses, and then your atom is a body. Your 6 sense is the third eye. We know we got 5 senses. Everybody know that. But your 6 sense is the third eye. And the atom is your body, because it's matter, and matter is an atom, it's electricity. So now we look at God as 666, right? So when you add all 3 6s up, because we know what it means, it's not the mark of the devil, all this type of stuff. Get out of that, because God is numbers and energy and everything. So it's not the devil's number or none of that. When you add 666 up, you get the number 18. When you add 1 and 8 together, you get the number 9. The number 9 is the spirit. That's God's spiritual number. So when you look at the number pattern, like from 1 to 6 and from 8 to 13, from 1 to 6, 7 is in the middle, and from 8 to 13, 7 is in the middle. So when you put 7 in the middle like that, from 1 to 6 and from 8 to 13, it creates a pyramid. That's where the pyramid came from. When you see the 3 points in the pyramid, that represents the 3 Trinity, the 3 points, the 3 point star, the 3 directions. So, but getting back to the numbers, God is numbers, and you see the pyramid. So just create a number pattern while you sitting here. Even if you got your pen or pencil in your hand, to write a number pattern from this side, from the left side, going from 1 to 6 on the left, and on the right, do from 8 to 13 and put the 7 in the middle of the pyramid. So the 7 represents this reality. It represents consciousness. So that's what the 7 is, separates you. So when they say 7 is the lucky number, lucky 7, and they got 3 7s, because they just took the 7, which represents this reality, multiple times. So it's like producing a 7 3 times. So 7 is an angel number as well, and you're an angel while you in this reality anyway. You definitely are an angel. So 7 is a spiritual number. So we dealing with the number 1, meaning acceleration. The number 2 is acceleration, meaning that energy is flowing, a constant flow. So when we deal with computers, we deal in binary codes with computers, right? Binaries is ones and zeros, meaning that you have a constant flow of energy, and the numbers are binary to tell the energy what format to take, so that way it can act out its duty as energy. That's what binary codes are. That's how a computer works. That's why they call it the internet, because you logging on to a net of energy that's surrounded by different directions, and it's being told what to do by the binary codes of its existence. So binary is 1 and 0. So when you put 1 and 0 together, you get the number 10. And the number 10 is this reality. So what they did was, in order to trick us to actually suppress our reality, they hid our reality behind the binary. So it's ones and zeros. So they used the 1 as an acceleration, but then they put the 0 to cancel us. So they stopped us. It should have been um the number should have been going. It should have been 1 2 3. It shouldn't have been 1 and 0, even though, because 0 turns off energy. So when you turn off energy, the energy is stuck. It can't go nowhere. So that's what they did. They turned off your energy. Well, they didn't turn off your energy. They stopped you from connecting to the flow of energy outside of yourself. So I want you to embody all of that. So what we're going to do is, I'm about to wake you up right now. So if you guys are ready to wake up, now is the best time. So when we dealing with how they put us to sleep, they they actually switched your belief system. That was number 1. They made you believe in religion. They actually gave you religion and made you believe in it, and tricked you to believe that religion was the way to prosperity, ascension, and to perfect harmony in this reality. So we operate from a 1320 matrix. The matrix is all the numbers in the world. And then we got a matrix field that operates from 1 to 260. So the 2 represents acceleration. The 6 represents the 6 neurons and electrons, neurons, and the electrons and the neurons and the atom. That's what the 6 represents, and the 0 is just really a cancellation. So really it's just 20. You see what I'm saying? Because you got the 2, then you got the 6, and you got the 0, which is a cancellation. So we operate from the 1320. The 1320 is the real time that you're supposed to be operating from. So what they did was, they put you on a 1260 matrix grid. 12 meaning 12 days in a month, right? 60 meaning 60 seconds in an hour. You see what I'm saying? So that's the 1260 time matrix. We operate from a time cell. You are a cell in a body. You are cells, multiple cells. You have cells in the body, and those cells have a specific time and date that they came into this reality. So we call it the time cell matrix. The 2013 represents the time cell matrix. So when you operating from the 1260, you in an artificial time grid. They made the time go from 12 o'clock counter clock. They made it go from 12 o'clock clockwise, and that time is not the real time. So we use noon time, net time, which is the real time, and I'm gonna teach you guys about net time. I don't want to get too deep off the subject, but right now you in a false time. So all the clocks that you ever looked at, that's not the right time. That's where we get 12 months in a year and 60 seconds in an hour. And you see what I'm saying? 60 minutes in an hour. So it's the 1260 time grid. So your spirit is stuck in the 1260 loop. So your spirit keep looping because they trapped you. So what I'm about to do right now is bring you back into the to, the 1320 time matrix. So when we talk about, because a lot of people ask what is 1320, and what does that represent? Really, to be honest, it's 13 months actually. It's 13 moons. Let's put it like that. And the months represents the moon. So when we look at it's 13 moons, and then we look at the fact that we look at the 20. People say, well, if it's 13, then where did 20 come from? So the 20 represents you have 10 fingers and 10 toes. That represents 20. So between your 10 fingers and your 10 toes connects you with the moon, with nature, with the galaxy and everything. So when you start looking at, like, you see a lot of people talk about they talk about like when you could actually grab certain points of your feet and stuff like that, and you could program your different chakras and hit your pressure points and all that, because those 10 fingers and 10 toes is connected through the time cell, because they connected through the cells in your body. And I'm gonna show you how they line up. So we got 13 moons, and then you got 10 fingers and 10 fingers and 10 toes. So that create the 20. And then the 13, the moon in a 7-day period, it moved 13 degrees in a 7-day period. So when you add 13 and 7 together, you get 20. So that's where the 20 came from. And then the universe is 13.7 billion years old. So when you add it up, you get 20. So the universe is actually 20 billion years old. And that's the time that we in right now. You see what I'm saying? That's why we in the 20th century. Because so we in the 20th century. But that's the ideology behind everything, is that you're stuck in the 1260 loop. So I'm gonna get you out of the loop. So a lot of people might say, well, Q, how do I get out of this loop that you're talking about? By finding your cosmic identity. Like, we know we all deal with the cosmos. The cosmos is space, and then we deal with nature on the physical plane. But we started off in the cosmos because we started off as a fifth dimensional being. And like I said, we went through the stages of descending, because we descended from the fifth dimension to the fourth to the third. So your cosmic identity, and you need to find your galactic signature. Everybody have a galactic signature. Your galactic signature is the day that you incarnated into this light body. That's your galactic signature. That's your imprint into this universe. When you know your galactic signature, you know, once I show you how to find your galactic signature is going to put you back into synchronization with nature, on the 1320 time and not the 1260 false time. So we need everybody to get on the 1320 time and out of the 1260 false time. You ever wondered why you study all this information and you still can't seem to activate your chakras, elevate your consciousness, get out of this negative, positive way of thinking? It's like you doing all of this stuff, but it's not working. And the reason why it's not working is because they never explained to you that you was trapped in the 1260 artificial time. And when you look at the time, you wonder every day, why do I get up every day and repeat the same thing? Why is nothing happening? It don't seem like I'm evolving. Like I would have thought, okay, when you reach a certain age, if you reach 21, you able to fly. At least you had something to look forward to. You like they like, okay, when you reach 21, you could fly. When you reach 30, you could do this. When you reach this, you could do this. That's called evolving. Like you see yourself evolving. Now we just sitting still. And the reason why we are sitting still is because we're trapped. We're trapped in the 1260 loop, meaning your spirit don't know where to go. Your spirit don't even know its life path. The life path, your spirit could go on a tree of life up, it could go down, it could go left, it could go right, it could go left, it could go right. Now it's so many paths to go, but you don't know the path because they put your spirit in a loop when you came into this reality. You forgot your mission when you came into this reality. We supposed to be operating from a planetary system, which is the star system, not from a computer system, from an artificial time system. Excuse me, I'm a little congested, but we not supposed to be operating from an artificial time system. They switched your original template. A template is your DNA, your genetics, your blueprint, your genetic blueprint. They altered your genetic blueprint because what they did was we had one DNA strand. They switched the DNA strand and made a two-part DNA, which is one DNA, one is RNA, and then you got the 12, then you got the 10 strand DNA, which control the 64 amino acids in the body and the taxions and codons. So you have two parts to your body. They started messing around with your genetics and they split your genetics into two parts, and when they did that, they separated your conscious self from your spiritual self. Because when you came, you remember I told you you had a two flame, you was one atom that was female energy and male energy, and you split apart when you came into this dimension, and that's your twin flame. So being that you split apart, your energy separated. So the way that your body right now receive energy is not the proper way. You're not even in alignment with the universe right now. Nobody is. If you're not on that 1320, you definitely not in alignment. And before I learned this information, I wasn't in alignment. You see, I was doing all of this stuff. I was receiving the downloads from the ancestors and everything, but I wasn't in alignment. And I'm like, everybody want to open their chakras. Everybody want to see what immortality feels like, to be having your same consciousness that you had in the fifth dimension, in the third dimension, and become a super immortal where you have superpowers to do all these different things. Everybody want to access that. You think they want you to access that? They definitely don't want you to access that. You think they want me to give you this information right now? I have to give you this information right now. And it's your job to spread this information. And I'm going to tell you why, and then we're going to get back to it. Right now, when you took your galactic signature to come into this reality, you came into this reality to save the earth. We all came to save the earth. You volunteered to do this. Ain't nobody make you come here. You volunteered to come here. So when you volunteered to come here to save the earth, they wiped out your genetics on who you was because they separated your genetics so you won't know who you are. So you got one part genetics in one dimension, which is third dimension, and you got the other spiritual part of your genetics in the fifth dimension, and they separated. So now the atom can't come together and form an electron, and the electron can't find a neuron, which operates the neurological, the conscious sense of your brain to even tell you who you are, because they got you in the 1260 loop. 12 months in a year, 60 minutes in a day. I mean, in an hour. 1260 loop. So now you just looping through an artificial time that was made up. The Vatican and the Pope made up this artificial time in order to trap your spirit into a false time matrix. The numbers is the matrix. So when you look at the matrix, everything is numbers. Anything, even if you speak words, they turn into numbers when they get into the matrix field. So whenever you speak with power and authority. That's why your tongue is so powerful. So I made a pact with myself that if I don't have nothing positive to say, I'm not going to say anything. And that's just straight up because I want to speak all positive things. It's not going to be difficult for me because I'm a disciplinary. So I could discipline myself to act out in that character as I choose. And that's what I choose to do. So I choose to carry myself in a way that shows discipline for the universe. So I only want to speak positive and I want to respect my body and speak positive. I want to surround my auric field with all positive vibrations. So words are vibrations, thoughts are vibrations. Your eyesight is a vibration. So, because remember what we talked about: spirit, light, and energy. That's what you're made of: spirit, light, and energy. Spirit, light, and energy carry vibrations, they carry frequencies. So, when you came into this reality, you was given a galactic signature. Your galactic signature is who you are in the fifth and the fourth dimension. Now that you are in the third dimension, you don't have no idea what a galactic signature is. You don't have no idea who you are. So you cannot ascend. You cannot elevate because you don't know who you are. And it's not your fault you don't know who you are. They trap your body, which is made up of numbers, because you have height and weight. Those height and weight make up the mass density of your body. That mass density of your body carries frequency that allow you to exist in time and space. And the fact that you exist and it is you are an output and input system. You are emulating light, and you are sending out light, and you are attracting light. So with your galactic signature, that's the day you were born on a 13 moon calendar. So they got you using the Gregorian calendar, which is the 12-month calendar. We supposed to be using the galactic calendar. And I'm gonna teach you guys how to use the galactic calendar. And I'm gonna get you away from this Gregorian calendar. We only use the Gregorian calendar as a reference. That's it. And they stole it from us anyway because we are the natives. We was in America first. We are the Mayans. We are the Mayan civilization. We are living in Earth, which is called Holon. Earth is not even called Earth. It's called planet Holon. We are in the firmament. The firmament is a circular object. The circular object is the firmament and it have two parts. One part is night, one part is day. The other part is up, above, one part is below. Above is with water, below is with water. So we are in the firmament. We are in a dome in this reality, in this world. We are in a dome. It's called the firmament. So by us being in the firmament, we able to receive energy from around the world because it's a rainbow that goes around the firmament, and that rainbow is the color spectrum that allow you to see the color and emulate color, because your mind, your brain has a third eye. The third eye has liquid. That liquid is your sperm inside your third eye. That liquid emulates color. That color connects with magnetism, with the universe, and allow you to see into this reality the color spectrum. That's what creates the color spectrum. So being that you are in the firmament, you are suspended between the top of the firmament is the positive charge. The bottom of the firmament is the negative charge. Then you got the left side of firmament and the right side of firmament. And then you got us in the middle of the firmament. And then the firmament lines up with the center of Alaska, and it lines up with the Milky Way. And from the Milky Way, all the way in hyperspace, the energy comes down through the firmament, and it allow us to receive the energy. So the energy is flowing just like this. That's where the figure eight comes from, like that, because the energy is always flowing, and it comes down from the Milky Way through Alaska, and it's called the Aurora Borealis is the top, and the Aurora Axialis is at the bottom. So you got the Y and the X chromosome, and it sit on an axis. So when you came into this reality, you was given a galactic signature. Your galactic signature that you was given is your incarnation when you came into this universe, and that galactic signature synchronizes you with the 13 moons and the galactic calendar. Once you synchronize with the 13 moons and the galactic calendar, you able to go outside your body because it creates a vehicle. So think about this. The Aurora Borealis is a circle. In the middle of the Aurora Borealis is you. In the middle of that is shaped like a diamond. And in the middle of that diamond is you. In the middle of that diamond, you are accessing the energy from the cosmos, which is allowing you to activate your Merkaba, which is your vehicle body. So that way you can access energy, which is frequencies, which is messages that can get converted into words where you can have a conscious understanding from the fifth dimension. And that's what you want to be able to do. So what I'm going to do right here, and I had to go into all of this information so that way I can wake you guys up and explain to you guys what's going on, what's happening, why these things are happening on earth, and what's what. So when you came on earth, you was given a cosmic identity, and your cosmic identity is who you are. Your cosmic identity is going to be one of the solar cells. So we got 20 solar cells, right? And these solar cells are connected to the chakras. So each person that gets a galactic signature is going to get a tribe and a solar cell. It's 4 tribes. One tribe is north, one tribe is south, one tribe is east, one tribe is west. And it's 4 colors: red, yellow, white, and blue. It's 13 different solar cells that's in these tribes. So, and I'm going to teach you guys about the 13 solar cells, and I'm going to teach you guys about your galactic signature, your cosmic identity, and I'm going to tell you what tribe you came from. When we done with this information, you're going to know where you came from in the cosmos, and you're going to know where your star family first seek refuge on earth, because I got the key exact coordinates to where each galactic family that came into this incarnation, where they took refuge at. So we have different places within this universe that is connected to the cosmos, and that's connected to your chakras. So it's certain points in the universe that connects to the chakras, and each point represents a different tribe. So we all came from a different tribe. So when I'm finished with you guys, but all the tribes are not different. They just different in the different polarities and the directions that they play a part in this reality and in the fifth dimension, but they are the same. They all come together to form one whole 20. That's what they form. So when you're looking at the 1320, that's what it represents, that you going back into original time. So when everybody say they want to access their fourth dimensional light body, nobody has access their full consciousness and awareness and activated their chakras, because if they would have been talking about the 1320 a long time ago, and there's no way on earth that your chakras could be in the proper alignment without syncing yourself with the 13 moons and with the galactic calendar and knowing your kin number, which is your galactic signature. So if you don't know your galactic signature and you don't know the day that you incarnated into this universe, you will not activate your chakras. So everybody that ever told you that their chakras was activated, their chakras is not activated. They might have been on the road to trying to activate their chakras or acting out the different ways to activate your chakra. But the reason why they couldn't activate their chakras is because on the galactic calendar, every day we got a different solar seal, and every day we got a different kin number, which is the galactic signature. So when you know the galactic signature and the kin number, you can figure out what directions the energy is going into, and it also tell you what chakra is being accessed at this particular day. So every day is a new chakra. So when you line yourself up with the galactic signature, you will be able to line yourself up in synchronization with nature and the cosmos, and you will be able to activate your chakras, because every day you will be able to work on the chakra which is in alignment with the 10 toes and the 10 fingers. So the 10 toes and the 10 fingers align you with the cosmos and with earth. And when you start activating your chakra, the 20 seals represents one of the 10 toes and the 10 fingers. So when you learn your tribe and your galactic signature and your solar cell, you're gonna be able to know how to pinpoint what energy is flowing through and pulsating through what part of the body for that particular day. And you can focus your energy on that particular part of the body and that chakra. And then the tones, like we got tones and solar seals. The tones is the vibration. The solar seals is allowing you to connect with the galaxy and with the cosmos in sync. And the tones is the different vibrations of the words that you're going to be using. So we got sets of words that has powers, and every day you get a different set of words that you have to say out, and then you have to know what the chakra is for that day, and then you have to know what the density oracle is. So I'm going to teach you guys about the density oracle. The density oracle, knowing the density oracle would allow you to activate your light body, because every day the oracle is going to come to you and show you what the energy is and what the science is for that particular day. And this is the teachings of the Mayans. The Mayans knew this information. So one day I was just sitting down and it just dawned on me, and my spirit just said, I want to escape the matrix. So I typed in how to escape the matrix. And then I started look, because I studied the matrix for a long time and what is the matrix and this and that. So I wanted to escape the matrix. I just got tired of going through this loop. I felt like I was like being stagnated. My energy wasn't progressing the way I wanted it to. And I'm like, what is going on? Something is not right. My spirit just kept saying something is not right. So then it just dawned on me. And then I tapped into the Mayans frequency and information. And I found out that the Mayans was the natives that they called the Native Americans. And they was the first civilization on earth. So the Mayans created the galactic calendar to be in synchronization with the cosmos. But then you had the Vatican and the Pope that came and created the Gregorian calendar, and they trapped everybody's spirit into a 1260 matrix field where they stopped their energy from flowing because they put a block on it. So they got you stuck in 12 months and 60 minutes in an hour time loop. I'm taking you from that time loop to a 1320 time cell where time and space, which is time is nature and space, is going to be aligned with your cells in your body. That's what we're doing now. That's why we talk about the 10 fingers and the 10 toes and the plasma, which is the energy. So we dealing with plasma because we dealing with the light, the energy, and the spirit. And the plasma is what's flowing all the time. So when we use the commands every day, we're commanding the energy to flow through the plasma, which is nature. Nature, nature, nature is the same thing as you. Because nature is the mother and the cosmos is the masculine feminine. I mean, it's the masculine energy. So remember when I told you that we got two different twin flames? We got the cosmos, which is the male, and we got nature, which is the mother, and then we got the sun and the moon. So the sun and the moon is keeping the two parents together, nature and the cosmos. So you want to align with the cosmos because you wasn't aligned with the cosmos because they put you a veil over your face. So now I'm aligning you back with the cosmos. So then nature has met her twin flame. Remember when I told you that when you came from the fifth dimension and you was a whole atom and the atom split apart, one part of the atom is male, one part of the atom is female. So if you incarnated into this reality as a male, then your counterpart is going to be a female, your twin flame. If you incarnated as a female, your counterpart is going to be a male. And when you connect to your counterpart, then you become a whole body, and then you can experience immortality in this reality. They blocked you from connecting to your twin flame because what they did was they put you in a 1260 time artificial time that wouldn't allow you to synchronize yourself with the cosmos. So with this Gregorian calendar, you may be synchronized with nature just a little bit, but you're not synchronized with the cosmos. So your actuality is your reality of the body, you being in this reality, but you still not connected with your spiritual self because they automatically block the cosmos out. So for a male, to you, if you a male and you in this reality, then to you trying to connect back to the cosmos. If you a female in this reality, you trying to connect back to the cosmos, but your cosmic energy could be a female or a male cosmic energy. I mean, a female cosmic energy would be a male, and a male cosmic energy would be a female. So just like nature just align herself with her twin flame, because when you look at the 11 and 11, one of the ones represent nature, and then the other one, because it's the 11, and the 11 is a spiritual number, and it's acceleration. That's energy keep flowing all the time. So then when you look at 111 on this side, that's nature, and then you look at the other 11 on this side, that's the cosmos. When they blocked you with this artificial time, they took your plasma and your synchronization and synchronized it with artificial time. So they they cause havoc in nature. So they cause the havoc in the nature of your being. So now nature said, you know what? The time shift, the pole shift. So nature lined back up with the cosmos again and went through the cosmic window and saw herself. So nature is looking at, so the nature is the female, the cosmos is the male, and they able to look at each other through duality again because they came together again. That's what the 11 and 11 represents. And every time those energies come together, it heightens your energy while you in this light body and allow you to receive more energy to ascend your frequency to a higher frequency of consciousness. So that's what happened. So when you hear twin flame, now you know what the twin flame is. Now you know what the 11 and 11 is. And then if we take and we did the number pattern, if you take 11 and 22, you get 33. And then if you take 11 and 33, you get 44. And then if you mix all the numbers together, you get 22, 55, and 77. And they all master numbers. So, and then you get the 7, which I already told you would line up between the two polarities, like the 1 through 6, the 7 in the middle, right? And then you got the 8 and the 13 with the 7 in the middle. So when you're dealing with the 77, the 55, which is the fifth dimension, right? When you first was born, and then you're dealing with the 22, because 2 is the master number. That's master. That's becoming the master of the matrix field. And then 1 is acceleration because that's the first number. You understand? So when you mix these numbers, you get God, you get the universe. So then you see God come alive in numbers, and then you understand that the numbers have a matrix field, because anytime you put together an object, which is an atom, and you can see it in hard form, it has different measurements like the height, weight, and it's all geometry. So when you bring the geometry together, it forms an atom, and this atom can exist now. Now that this atom exists, this atom has an orb, which is energy electrifying from it. So that energy is the it's called the being, like the state of being that this atom is in. And this atom is sending out orbs of frequency. You see what I'm saying? And that's allowing you to connect to these objects into this realm. So then when you start looking at each object has a number attached to it, and without knowing the measurements, you cannot create this object. So God is numbers before God is physical. So now we go back to light, energy, and spirit. The spirit is the 9. So that's the first number. Well, not the first number, but that's the representation of the spirit. And then you got the light, which is the energy, the 1. The 1 is the light, always flowing, right? And then you have the light, the spirit, and the energy. And you have the energy because a molecule is energy. It's because it's 6 electrons, 6 neurons, 6 atoms. You see what, and by that's the 3 sixes, right? And those sixes are going because it's creating electrical current, magnetic current, and those get turned into electricity. So with those 6 electrons moving at the same time, that's allowing the molecule to receive charge. And once the molecule receives charge, that's the energy factor of the molecule. So then now you have the light, which is the 1, you have the spirit, which is the 9, and then you have the charged molecule, which is the energy. So now that we touch ground on all of that, now we're going to get back into the galactic signature and what your galactic signature is and stuff like that. So let's just take a deep breath. Give praise to the universe and tell the universe thank you, and the Mayans, and because we are the Mayans and our ancestors, for allowing us to wake up and access the fourth dimension. Because now you are woke, you are awake. All you need is your galactic signature, and I'm gonna help you do that in the next video. So right now, what I did a lot of studying as well, right? And I always tried to figure out why people get sick. And you know, I did a lot of stuff like, and it's funny because I did a lot of research on herbs, right? I did a lot of research on energy. I did a lot of research on a lot of stuff, but I still couldn't come to a conclusion of why people keep getting sick. And we know people keep getting sick because some people they catch cancer from eating certain foods. And that's another thing. Y'all need to stop taking all of these artificial foods and stuff into your body because sugar is what causes cancer. I made a pact with myself to stay away from sugar because sugar goes into your fat cells when your body carries certain weight density. Even if you don't, it's still going to your cells and it store fat. So your body supposed to be using air for energy. Your body been converted into a false time matrix, and now you depending on sugar for energy. And when your body depends on sugar for energy, the cells don't receive the proper oxygen and then they transmutate into something that shuts down your body. So stop eating sugar. I'm telling you that right now. Start taking in more air. When you take in fruits and vegetables like blueberries, raspberries, they carry antioxidants. You put oxygen back into your body. You want the oxygen to be your energy, not the sugar. So eliminate sugar from your diet. You could get sugar from fruits and vegetables. Eat you some grapes and things like that that carry a sugar count. And then measure how much sugar is in these particular grapes that you eat and how much grams of it. And then you will know every day how much sugar you taking into your body. So I started like I was wondering why people get sick, right? So it dawned on me. I created a tea that allow your cells to be rejuvenated by electrolytes, and the electrolytes carry a certain energy that allow your cells to receive memory, which is the DNA. Your red blood is the DNA, the white blood is the RNA. So you want your red blood cells to carry memory so they'll be able to send signals through the white blood cells to tell the white blood cells to reproduce themselves. So we need electrolytes for that. Water, being that they done took water, and water being the highest molecule on the planet, they done took water and made water dense. And they poison the water and do all this kind of stuff. So when you poison water and you cause harm to water, you can program the water because the water is a molecule. So they program the water to not have the proper content of electrolytes, so your body won't receive the proper electricity. That's why we use alkaline water with a pH of 9, because 9 is the spirit. So you want the water to electrify the 9. Understood? And y'all probably wonder why I'm receiving all this information and how can I speak it so fluent? It's because I'm aligned with the universe. You know, I'm an ascended master. I'm number 22. By me carrying the 22 frequency, I exist in duality in this dimension, and it allowed me to receive information because I came here as a ascended master. I've been here multiple times before, but now in this day and age, which we in the 20th century, you see what I'm saying? And in the 20th century, we are allowed to do things that we are connected to because the two is acceleration and the one is acceleration, and the one and the two creates 12. And then then you take another one and it creates 13 because it took it's 13 moons. So but my whole point is that now that I'm awakened and I'm accessing a fourth dimensional consciousness, the things that I learned in third density, I have a more broader understanding about them. So then I look down on these things, and now they look like ABCs to me because now I done mastered the frequency of these things because now I'm at a higher consciousness looking down. And then I could decode these things, and then it allowed me to pass through a higher consciousness. So when you guys find out what your galactic signature is, that's your password to the fourth dimension. Without having your galactic signature, you cannot access the fourth dimension at all. And you know, a lot of archaeologists and astronomers and people of that nature, they've been trying to figure out the Mayan civilization for a long time. And we are the Mayans, and that's why it's so fluent, because our melanin conduct energy and allow us to receive messages. Your eyes carry melanin that could conduct energy. The retinas in your eyes. That's why the eyes are able to send out frequencies and receive light. And the light that you receive through your eyes, you're able to decipher the consciousness of it. Like when you look at something, you look at it with your eyes, you shine a light on it, and then it shine right back to you and tell you what it is. That's what it is. It's an output input. So you look at something and say, what is that? And then right away, your mind perceives the conscious thought of it. Oh, that's that. And now you perceive the consciousness of that's that. So it's light going out and light coming back in. So it's melanin going out and melanin coming back in. Right? So this is what we're going to do. We're going to do this. I don't want to get too far into it with you guys, because I done gave you guys a lot of information already. And in my next video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to access your galactic signature. And for the ones that have their galactic signature already, I'm going to teach you how to use it. So I'm going to bring everyone into the fourth dimension. The more people we bring into the fourth dimension, the more we create harmony on earth. So we need to bring in as many people as we can and wake them up. Because like I told you, we dealing with time and space. We dealing with the cosmos, and we dealing with nature. And in the quantum galactic realms of reality and everything, where you were in the fifth dimension, is a galactic war going on between the um Draconians and the Palladians, the Sumerians, and the Mayans. So when you look at all of this from interstellar. Interstellar mean intergalactic conscious sense. When you look at it from an interstellar, we have the Draconis, which is the elite. You might as well say George Bush is a Draconi, Clinton and people like that that want to rule the world. They Draconis. Then we deal with a cronies, which is the digital energy that flow. The Draconis tapped into the digital energy and started controlling it. And that's where they got technology from. And what they did was they took the fact that they knew technology more than us, because they was using it for bad. It's just the energy. They used the energy for bad. They was able to create electronics. And through the electronics, they was able to trap us between electricity, because we conduct electricity. So they put a frequency band on our frequency to stop us from elevating. So that's why electronics have a certain frequency band to govern your electricity in your body. So now we had a Draconis controlling electricity, right, in the digital realm. By they controlling the digital realm, they controlling you, because they got you in computers, living off computers. They got you waking up to an alarm clock and using all digital aspects and not using the natural way of life. So now they got you in an artificial time matrix, because all of these things are numbers and it exists in time, the day that it was created. So you in an artificial time right now. And that's why they switched you to a computer system and not a solar planetary system. I want to take you back to a solar planetary system. So that way you'll be able to guide your spirit through this system and be able to navigate the right way while you're in this reality. So I'm your navigator, and I love it. I'm so pleased and humble that the universe elected me to be the conduit to come to you with this information to actually deprogram you from the matrix and program you into the proper matrix. So it's all a program. This is all an illusion. It's not real. This reality is an illusion. It's just a mirror of yourself. It's duality. So being that you know that this is not an illusion could be manipulated through whatever it perceives. So when they put virtual reality and you watching and it feel like you're there, your mind could be manipulated. So they manipulated your mind by a false illusion of time. So we getting out of this false illusion of time and we going back to who we were as a sentient being, a being of light that exists in multiple dimensions that could take any form and live for eternity. That's what we want to do. That's what everybody's job is. But unfortunately, so many people get stuck in the third dimension, where third dimension is the physical plane of material. So they get caught up into money, they get caught up into clothes, cars, all of these things that don't even matter is different distractions to distract you from the truth. And the people are so brainwashed in artificial time that they don't even have the conscious mind to know that they being programmed. When you watch things on TV, those things are frequencies because they numbers converted into an atom which carry a physical form of reality. But those things on the other side of the physical form is energy, and that energy is numbers, and that numbers can program you depending on what type of energy and who's conducting the energy towards you. So when you look at things on TV, they program you. That means that a demon is going inside your body and possessing your body and programming you to be something that you're not because you just saw something on TV, and then you are in 1260 artificial time, so you don't even have the consciousness to even decipher between the two polarities of the electron and even know, okay, I don't want to perceive this. So when you perceive it, your mind is so far gone that you're idled. And being that you're idled, you're allowing any energy to get in to control you because you didn't take the proper form of knowing, of awareness. And it's not your fault. They tricked you. They tricked everybody. You couldn't help it. You came into this reality brainwash like that. And it's not you. It started with your ancestors first, and it was passed down through your genetics, and it didn't even have to hit you when you came out the womb. Soon you became a sperm cell. Automatically, they put the lock on your genetics right then and there. You ain't even had to incarnate into a physical body. By the time you incarnated into a physical body, they already trapped you because they trapped you at the spiritual level first. That's what they did. So now I want y'all to do a lot of research on 1320. Welcome to fourth density. And in fourth density, you're not going to have a different perception of this reality. You're going to have a higher conscious sense of this reality and what the things mean and why they exist in the quantum field that you exist in, and what benefits are these things to you while you're in the light body in this quantum field. And that's what we're going to learn here today. And that's what you guys learned. So I know you guys did a lot of awakening because I said a lot. And this is a powerful video. So we definitely need to get this video out to everyone. As many people as you can, because we want this video to go viral. We want to bring everybody to the fourth dimension. So if they operating off the fourth dimension, that's going to allow your body to ascend because now nature is going with the flow of everybody, with the flow of her own vibration, with the flow of the cosmos. Now we got the three. Everything is aligning up. Nature, the human body, and the cosmos. And when we line up like that, we take immortality. I want everybody to have immortality, because what's going to happen is that your ancestors that passed over into the fifth dimension, they gonna be able to incarnate into another body and come back, and then they gonna come right to you as your ancestors and know who you are, because now when this shift happens, it allow you to have superpowers and immortality while you in this third density. So now it's no limits. You could actually look at your hands and manifest something at the blink of an eye, just like that. So now your family consciousness is going to wake up and let them know that they can incarnate back and come back to earth again, and they going to come back. So this is when everybody come together as the collectives, and this is what we need. And the draconians and the cronies is trying to stop us from doing that. The draconies is the elite. The cronies is that digital frequency that they tapped into. That's why they control the FCC. So now what we need to do is we need to save the Milky Way, because the draconies is trying to take over Earth. And if they take over Earth, they gonna take over the Milky Way. So in order for them to take over the Milky Way, they gotta take over Earth first, and they want to control the cosmos and Earth, but they can't take control of the cosmos because we have other ascended masters that exist within certain galaxies of this reality in this universe that's not going to let them do that, but they still need our help in the physical world, so that way we could shut them down. Like I said, when you came to this physical world, you volunteered to come here in order to do what I said, and that's save the earth, which is planet Holon, from destruction, from the Draconis. So, I had a talk with the Palladians the other day, and I also was talking to the Octarians, and they knew who I was because they could see my galactic signature, because I already took my presence in my presence, which is my being and my aura in the cosmos. And now they could see me in the cosmos, and I could see them, and I could actually hear them. And they came to me and told me all this information. And they also told me that they are in the Galactic Federation of Light, which is the federation of all planets collected together, the collective consciousness emulating light into a body. So they told me that they was a part of the Galactic Federation, and that they are of the light. They are in the light family as we are. And they told me what the Draconis and the Acronis was plotting to do. So now, as star season light workers, our job is to seek immortality by activating our chakras, becoming immortals, and taking back the earth again. And that's what we need to do. And I know it sounds maybe like some type of a superhero in an action film, but it's real reality. I'm letting you know that right now. It's not a video game. This is real deal. It's just we awake to this type of understanding. Like, I mean, you can't veer away from it. It is what it is. I am what I am. And I am frequency. I am spirit, and I am energy, and I'm light. So now I'm in the fourth dimension. So I took on a fourth gift, and that's frequency, to be able to resonate between frequency tones. So now I'm in the fourth dimension, and I'm spirit, I'm energy, I'm frequency and light. So now I just gave you the gift of frequency. So now what we're going to do at this time, I'm going to show you how to control the frequencies. So we're going to start learning about the chakras, and then we're going to have to go offline into my next video. And I'm going to be doing my next video in a few days, because I still need to talk back to the oracle. And I'm going to teach you guys how to talk to the oracle and connect to the cosmos. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. So I just got a download right then and there. That's why I stopped. So what the Oracle told me is that I'm the one. They told me that being that I'm a 22, that took the one two times because one plus one is two, right? So now you got the earth seeing itself in duality, meaning that the divine feminine and the male feminine can exist in this reality at the same time without even going to these different states of immortality, because I already took the representation as a ascended master by being a 22, by taking a number and putting it in, allowing the number to become one number, which is two, in the physical reality. And that's what make me an ascended master, because the two can become the two ones can become two, and one and is existing in the physical, and the other one is existing in the spiritual. And by they coming together, they creating two. So you bringing the spiritual and the physical together in this plane, which creates a master. That's what makes me an ascended master, and that's what they just told me, and that's how I get the downloads. They just told me that. All right, so we gonna go into the chakras and everything, because if you guys align your chakras and activate your chakras, then you won't get sick. You're gonna experience immortality. You can astral plane. You're gonna experience eternal life on Earth, because it's nothing that could destroy you. It's just, and the reason why chakras wasn't aligned, because we wasn't synchronized with the earth, because on the galactic calendar and in the 13 moons, each day the tones and the seals represents the chakras and show you how to bring the energy into your chakras for that particular day. So if every day represents a chakra and you're not in the proper alignment, that means you wasn't never in alignment to activate your chakras, because you wasn't in synchronicity. So now, being that every day you're going to be in synchronicity, you can align your chakras in synchronicity and activate your vehicle and experience immortality, because you able to access the proper chakra energy for that day. So if your chakra's blocked, let me tell you what happened. Let's get into that. So what happens in case of blocked, what happens in case you have a blocked third eye? In case you have a blocked third eye, you unable to hear your inner voice. That's one. You meet with various physical symptoms, including stroke, blindness, death, seizures, depression, poor eyesight, spinal deficiency, brain tumors, learning disabilities, and everything. So if your third eye is blocked, that's what you're going to experience. If your chakras are not aligned, you cannot open your third eye. So if your third eye is not open, that means the energy is not flowing in and out of your body from output and input every day and into the matrix field. Because you got four stages. You got store, input, output, process, matrix. So store means you storing the energy in. To process means you processing the consciousness of the energy. Output mean you outputting it into the universe. Input mean you bringing the energy in, the light into you. And then once you output it, you let it go into the matrix field, because the matrix field is the last process in the input output system. But you can't input output light and energy because you're not synchronized with the planet, because each day represents a different chakra. It also represents the five, the 10 fingers and the 10 toes. So if you are not aligned with the body and the spirit, with everything, you're gonna reap havoc on your body. And they knew that when they trapped us into a 1260 artificial time. they knew when they trapped us into that time, we was going to get sick. So they didn't even need to create disease, to be honest with you. You become the disease because your energy becomes um, stagnated, and the energy start building up, and then it transmute into something that is not, because the energy don't have no sense of direction to know what it is, because your chakras are not aligned to program the energy to allow it to take formation of direction. They knew that. So by you being trapped in this 1260 artificial time, and I'm gonna keep on elaborating on this, 12 months in a year, 60 minutes in an hour puts you into a loop of time where your spirit cannot ascend. Now, by you knowing of this fourth dimension information that I'm sharing with you, it'll allow your spirit to ascend. So when you know your galactic signature, it allow you to exist in the cosmos. It allow you to seek immortality in a light body and have everlasting, eternal life on earth. They knew he wasn't going to have everlasting, eternal life because they gave you religion. When they gave you religion, they brainwashed you to believe you had to go outside yourself to look for God when you are God. That was number one. They shut you down. And then number two, they put you into a artificial time. So they really separated you from everything, from yourself, because you exist in the cosmos and you exist in nature. So they separated you from yourself. So they didn't want you to see the cosmic mirror. They hid the cosmic mirror. They even hid it from nature as well. But nature was like, you know what? Nature found herself and she gave us the 11 and 11. She connected back with the cosmos, the male and the female energy, and nature is able to take us into another dimensional hyper existence because she found herself. Let's go, nature. Let's give it up for nature. Let's take a deep breath for nature. And let's give nature a big hug. You see what I'm saying? And let's thank the cosmos as well for allowing us to receive this information, because now when you receive this information will let you control your emotions. And when you control your emotions, emotions is vibration. You control your vibration. So if you allow somebody to control your emotions, you are allowing them to control your vibration. And if they control your vibration, they control your every existence as a being. So you need to take control of your emotions. Right now, we need to balance our emotions. You don't want to have too much love, because then if you have too much love, you're gonna over induce the heart chakra. You don't need to do that. You need a balance. You need to balance it all out. You see what I'm saying? So you need, but the main thing need to be driving off of love and not manipulation. Love and not manipulation. Love and not manipulation. So we need to start right now. And they told me, the Palladians told me, being that you are awakened at this point, you're going to start experiencing some indigestion problems, like a stuffy nose, and it's going to feel like you got a cold. You might feel a little pressure on your chest and stuff like that. It's just because you're awakening, that your kundalini is rising through your spine and is allowing your crown chakra to be activated, and then that's going to put you into synchronization. So if you're experiencing any of these symptoms that I'm talking about, it's normal. Just, it's gonna go away after a while. So I'm drinking this. So I think that concludes our knowledge of today, and we're gonna leave this like that. We're gonna close out like this: peace, love, and light. And we're going to close out with the prayer of the universe. And I'm going to lead you guys through the universal prayer. From the east house of light, may wisdom dawn on us, so we may see all things in clarity. From the north house of night, may wisdom repent in us, so we may know all from within. From the west house of transformation, may wisdom be transformed into right action, so we may do what must be done. From the south house of the eternal sun, may right action reap the harvest, so we may enjoy fruits of planetary being. From above house of heaven, we star people and ancestors gather, may their blessings come to us now. From below house of earth, may the heartbeat of her crystal core bless us with harmonies to end all war. From the center, from the center galactic source, which is everywhere at once, may everything be known as the light of mutual love. So that's the prayer that we need to say every day before we enter fourth dimension. And I'm going to teach you guys that prayer too. And I want to do this right quick. Hold on. Let me see if I could find it. And I'm still new at this, guys. So just bear with me. You know, I can only do what I'm allowed to do, and that's. But I think we're doing a good job. So what I'm gonna do is we gonna chant right quick.
Anjam Hinab Kuwasamaya Maho. Anjam Hinab Kuwasamaya Maho.
So it's all. When I was about to do that, they pulled the things out my ear. You see that? They real funny stuff like that. Just be bugging me out. But ya Hanab Hunab Ku Ave my o. That is the chant. I'm still working on the chant, and you guys gonna work on it with me. We gonna work on it together. But that's the chant that you need to say after you go through the prayer.
Anjam Hinab Kuwasamaya Maho.
Cause the Hunab Ku is the circle calendar of the Mayans. It's called the Hunab Ku. And on the Hunab Ku, it got the 20 solar seals going around it that represents your immortality. It represents your galactic signature, and it represents the energy going in your chakras. So we say these prayers because these prayers carry power, and that power is in the tone. Like the tone carry powers. So I'm gonna teach you guys about the tones and the seals, and you guys will be able to, cause you know when you read in the book, like in the last chapter of the Bible, when they talked about releasing the seven seals. Well, we have seals that we use, and it's powerful words that we can say from our mouth, and then we have to take it through the different degrees, which is store, input, output, process, and matrix. So when we speak from out our mouth, we speak a tone, but then we want to seal it, because when you seal it, you sealing it in your matrix field, where that particular tone, whatever it represents, it become you. So when they release the seven seals, they released the seals of the Mayans. That's what they was talking about. But then, being that they switched the Bible around a little bit, they made it seem like it was their own, where they was releasing seals and stuff like that. But they was trying to trick people, to be honest with you, because when they was talking about the seven seals and it was animals and stuff like that, each solar seal that I'm gonna show you guys represents an animal. So with your existence, you represents an animal, and that animal represents immortality as well on Earth. So you represent an animal. So each one of you guys are gonna get a tribe, and that tribe represents an animal. You see what I'm saying? Or it represents something of this cosmic galactic realm. So when you learn that, then you're gonna see the significance between animals and humans and how they connect and play a part with each other. But being that we are on the ascension process, this information is not relevant to those that can't access the fourth dimension. So now that we access the 20 seals and the tones, you able to say some things out your mouth and seal it. And when you sealing it, you sealing it into your auric field, and the auric field puts it into the Akashic records. The Akashic records is this high over your head, because the third eye is this, and then you have the Akashic records that sit right here, where you can access anything that you ever brought into your mind, or anything that was ever brought into the galaxy. You can access it. It's 1 foot above your head is the Akashic records. So when you seal this, you store it into the Akashic records, and it becomes a blueprint, a template of your DNA, and you're able to use the power of that tone to manifest. So the animals go out as the solar seals, and they go out to play a part in the existence of the cosmos, because they they resonate with the 13 moons. And I'm gonna teach you guys how the moon play a part in the way you feel, and I'm gonna teach you how to read the moon and tell what time it is, because this time clock that they got you on is not the real clock. So that's what's going to be the next lesson. I'm going to show you what the real clock is. I'm going to show you how to access the moon and the energy from the moon. I'm going to show you how to access the power of your voice in the form of tones, and tones is in the form of wave, and wave is in the form of a matter, because sound is matter. Air is matter. Air can be sound, because air can carry sound. You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna show you how all of these different things play a part in your life. So we gonna end the video like this. I love you guys. Peace, love, and light. I sacrifice my life to bring you this light, and I don't mind, because you guys are everything to me. Peace, love, and light. Ascended Master Q Mussolini, from the bottom of my heart and the depths of my soul, I give you guys an awakening to immortality, and I love you. And congratulations on awakening to the fourth dimension of vibration of existence and information. Until we meet again, we never say bye bye. We never say later. We say until we meet again.